Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more intense real-life stories like this. The day began like any other, yet an uneasy tension had been quietly growing for months. My wife, Laura, had become distant, increasingly irritable and secretive. I noticed the late nights at her office, hushed phone calls, and constant excuses for why she couldn't be reached. The home that once felt warm and welcoming now felt cold, heavy with unspoken words and lingering unease. I attempted to talk to her, but each time, her responses were dismissive, leaving me frustrated and worried. Still, I held on to hope that we could work through whatever was troubling her. I never imagined the conversation that night, one that would completely alter everything. That evening, Laura asked me to sit with her in the living room. Her face was distant, detached, almost unreadable. Then she said it, her voice calm, measured, almost rehearsed. "I want a divorce." The words hit like a blow. My chest tightened, a storm of shock, disbelief, and anger surging through me. I tried to ask why, but she barely glanced my way, lost in her own thoughts. It became clear that this wasn't a sudden decision. This was something she had been nurturing quietly, while I remained oblivious to the depth of her unhappiness. I paused, letting her words settle. My first instinct was to argue, plead, or desperately try to save the marriage. But something inside me shifted. I realized that anger or begging wouldn't solve anything. Only control and clarity would. I needed to set boundaries and make it clear that betrayal carries consequences. Her choice was hers, but how I responded was entirely up to me. As Laura continued, indifferent and almost smug, a new tension entered the room. Her coworker, Daniel, the one she had been spending more time with, appeared unexpectedly. His casual presence felt intrusive, and I immediately recognized the underlying truth. He had enabled her distance and decisions. Laura gave him a faint smile, the kind reserved for someone she wanted to impress. Daniel's smirk spoke of victory, but he had no idea I already saw the full picture. The room was charged with unspoken tension. Every glance, every movement, every word carried weight. I spoke deliberately, my voice calm and steady. "Good. She's all yours." For a moment, Daniel's confidence faltered. He had expected a different reaction, perhaps weakness or pleading. I let the silence linger, the weight of the moment pressing down. Then, almost casually, I added, "along with her debts." The subtle twist left him momentarily speechless. He thought he was winning, only to discover he had inherited far more than he bargained for. Laura's expression shifted from smug confidence to shock. She hadn't expected me to remain composed, much less respond with precision. I didn't need to yell or humiliate her. The truth alone carried the impact. Her betrayal had consequences she hadn't fully grasped, and I could see the mix of guilt, disbelief, and anger forming on her face. My calm had shifted the balance of power entirely. Daniel attempted to speak, to recover his bravado, but I interrupted firmly yet gently. "Enjoy it. Just remember, reality isn't always as glamorous as it looks." Simple words, but their effect was profound. They had assumed control, expecting weakness, but I had quietly reclaimed authority, step by step. In the days that followed, Laura's attempts to manipulate or negotiate failed. She realized her choices had consequences that couldn't be escaped. I didn't need to remind her. The lesson was clear and irreversible. Daniel, too, understood he had gravely underestimated the situation. Their confidence dissolved into quiet acknowledgement. The authority had returned to me. Reflecting on the experience, I understood the power of composure. Anger, drama, and public confrontation may feel satisfying, but they rarely achieve the impact that measured, controlled responses do. By asserting boundaries and calmly highlighting the consequences of betrayal, I reclaimed dignity and control without humiliation. Ultimately, this moment became a turning point. Laura had chosen her path and I chose mine. Through patience, strategy, and composure, I ensured that both she and Daniel faced the full implications of their actions. Respect, dignity, and consequences are inseparable. My measured response left an indelible mark, powerful, undeniable, and unforgettable.